Health retelling story number 2. The narrator says that his friend Daniel works in a charity program which teaches migrants, minorities, refugees, and other socially disadvantaged groups how to deal with American healthcare system, how to have access to medicine and treatment. It is free. He gives lectures in a major hospital, and the narrator took down some notes to put them into a brochure later. So here are the tips. First of all, if you are experiencing some kind of pain, you should call qualified healthcare provider or just your physician. You shouldn't rely on home remedies or self-diagnosing on the internet. You shouldn't waste time on that. Especially if your condition is getting serious and you feel pain. You should call an ambulance if it is an emergency. If it is not life-threatening, if you have a blister or a callus on your foot, you can just put a band-aid and consider investing in better shoes. But if the case is serious, you can call an ambulance. You have to do that. If you have pain in your stomach, it might be a case of food poisoning. In some mild cases, you can just stay at home and you'll feel better within a couple of days. But in some severe cases, a doctor might prescribe you antibiotics, or you might even stay in hospital on an IV. If you have some problem and you go to the doctor, but English is not your first language, and you can't express what kind of pain you are experiencing, an interpreter will be provided for you. If you have a backache or allergy or heart problem, you need to make an appointment with a physician. He will examine you, and sometimes he might take some tests. He might prescribe you to have an X-ray or an MRI. Sometimes a simple blood test is enough to have a disease diagnosed. If you have some problems with your teeth, sometimes a toothache can be really unbearable. If you have a cavity or something like that, you need to go to the dentist, and if you don't have the possibility to do it straight away, you can take a painkiller to soothe the pain. But you should be careful with reading an instruction, as sometimes there might be some side effects, some noticeable side effects, so you should always be careful when reading an instruction, and you should go to the dentist later on. If you are afraid of getting a flu, you can get vaccinated against it, as in US they're afraid of getting serious outbreaks, so there is a possibility to get vaccinated. Well, if you have high blood pressure, you should cut down on sweets, you should exercise regularly, and have a balanced diet. It will help you to prevent a heart attack and keep your heart healthy. What else? If you are hospitalized in US, you should be careful. You should have a health coverage. If you don't have an insurance, no hospital will turn you down if it is a life-threatening case. If it is a question of life and death, they will help you, but the medical expenses